Nigel Farage spent weeks holding those big weekly press conferences, setting the news agenda, grabbing every headline, soaking up attention like a man made of kitchen roll.
Desire, punching. This spill is no match for me and my Duralux. Yeah, Duralux.
And then, the moment real journalists start asking about racism allegations from 20 people who actually knew him, he vanishes. Poof, gone. Silence. And in his place, Richard Tice is wheeled out like the understudy who's been told to just keep smiling even if the scenery is on fire. Today's interview honestly felt like Reform's whole strategy falling apart in slow motion. Tice starts with the usual. The budget's a car crash. Labour are communists. Benefit Street is bankrupting the country. The greatest hits for their fan base.
I think it's been an absolute car crash. Her third car crash, the first being the original budget last year. The run-up to this budget was an absolute shambles. And the reality is they're taxing tens of billions every year extra from hardworking Brits in order to fund Benefit Street. And they're borrowing an extra £60 billion above what they forecast to borrow back in March. And this is, in growth terms, it's not going to help growth. Businesses are absolutely despairing. I'm hearing from them. People have stopped hiring. They're stopping investing. It's a catastrophe.
But then the interviewer asks about all those Tory MPs defecting to Reform. And Tice, well, he accidentally says the quiet part out loud.
The thing that the Tories need to do is to recognise that they've had their time after a couple of 100 years. They've blown it, and they should step aside and let Reform take on and defeat the hard socialists and the communists that seem to be on the left side of politics now.
Well, the polls, according to the polls, it is not a dead certain that you're going to win. You're going to need someone. I can't see you teaming up with Zach Polanski. You're going to potentially need the Tories, aren't you?
No, we're leading the polls by 10 points, which is as much or more than Labour did.
That's not right for all the polls, but carry on.
Well, if you look at the average, that's about it, which is similar to what Labour did last time around with first past the post. That's enough. We've got a long way to go, and I think we'll just keep working hard. But ultimately, the Tory brand, look, they had the chance and they've blown it, and we're out competing them. We're beating them every week in by-elections. So, but
you say there's a problem with the Tory brand. You're taking up quite a few washed-up Tory MPs, aren't you?
Well, as long as the people, you see, the brand is done. But some individuals who believe in our values and our principles, they recognise that we are the future. That's the difference. Whereas, when a brand is done, a brand is done, and their brand is done. People will not forgive, and they won't forget the damage they did to the economy, overtaxing, over-regulating, not stopping the boats, all of these things, allowing legal immigration to soar out of control, and people won't forget that.
Right, except the future now includes Jonathan Gullis, Nici, Maria Caulfield, Andrea Jenkins, Nadine Dorries, and half of the rest of the 2019 Tory intake. Reform keep telling the country the Conservatives have failed Britain, while filling their own party with the very same Conservatives. Tice said that the Tory brand is dead, but Reform is now 90% 2019 Tory MPs in new jackets. Pretty surprised that Jacob Rees-Mogg hasn't joined them yet. And the Grassroots? Well, they've kind of started to notice. They were promised a revolution, but what they're getting is a recycled scheme for washed-up Tory MPs, which is why Zia Yusuf had to jump onto Twitter to reassure them, quite desperately, I may add, that reformers definitely won't prioritise former Tory MPs over ordinary members. His message basically boils down to, don't worry, failed Tories won't take your seats. You built this movement. Meanwhile, behind them, the reform bus is filling up with failed Tories at a rate that would make the CCHQ jealous. The truth is very plain to see. These defectors aren't joining a movement. They're queuing for the last gravy train leaving Westminster. They can read the polls. They know they're doomed as Conservatives, so they're crawling to Reform hoping Nigel will throw them a bone. The funniest part is, Reform keeps saying the Tory party blew it, while actively rebuilding the exact same Tory party, MP by MP, just under a new logo. This isn't replacing the Conservatives, it's just reassembling them. And all the while Farage sits quietly in the shadows, hoping nobody asks why he suddenly stopped holding press conferences. Because when the questions turn to racism, Reform's answer isn't reassurance, it's just silence, and a whole lot of this.
It's just nonsense, it's twaddle.